Everybody, welcome in. We'll get to it in just a second. Go back a little bit on here. Get this together. Get ready. Once some people get in, we'll be starting. Go to history. That's 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 8 minutes. Welcome in, everybody. We start in just a minute.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer.
Do you know Donald Trump and P. Diddy, they've been knowing each other since like the early 90s. They came out during his trial that some of those freak-off parties happened in Trump Tower in New York. I'm going to show you, or I'm going to let you listen in to an interview with Puff Daddy and Donald Trump back in the 90s. Trump is going to implicate himself like he does do a lot of bad things, but he know how to get away with it. He's going to say that. And this is the video, the audio between Trump and P. Diddy in the early 90s.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. Entertain people, no matter what time of day. You know, whether you like it or not. I go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes the toughness.
I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way...
You heard what he said? He really likes Puff Daddy. This is an interview from the early 90s. Late 90s.
All day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes the toughness.
I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful.
And this is before
We all human beings.
And this is before he even ran for president. So he's going to implicate that he does do things wrong and he does do like shady stuff, that he can never be president because you can't get away with stuff being like that being president. He's going to say that.
Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms. And like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble. And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. And, you know, I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You made this to be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you
Sorry
can't
about
do
that,
much
guys.
wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
Yeah.
Which is why I have no intention of running for president, and I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the way life should work.
I don't
That's
know
what
why I
people
keep
can't
doing
understand.
that. I have no
You
idea
know,
why
we
my
can't
phone
be
is doing
judged
it.
by man. God runs this world, you know.
Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned. I've done great for the casino business. All 3 of my casinos were rated 4 stars by the Mobile Travel Guide, and they're the only casinos in the United States that are so rated. I built the Taj Mahal, which is
Would you stop, phone?
It's over $1 billion building, and it's.
I mean, I think I'm in a normally successful business,
It's just gonna keep
Maybe
doing it, I
maybe
guess. I'm
small
not
time.
really sure why it's doing it.
you know, and I'm gonna make something good out of it.
Exactly right.
People gonna be mesmerized.
Yeah, that's him and P Diddy interview. He said, I admitted I do wrong, but I got a way of getting out of it. I use my brain. Now this is who Trump is. This is who Trump is. When he went to he went to West Point, but he never went to the war. He claimed to have bone spurs or something wrong with his feet. But he went to West Point, and this is some of his classmates who went to West Point with him. This is what they said.
They, of course, were interested in Donald Trump.
He played with building blocks. Always with building blocks.
But Donald Trump's childhood was much more complicated. Early on, a family crisis. His mother seriously ill.
This is who Donald Trump really is. His classmates at West Point are going to describe his attitude and how he treated them. And you can still see that same attitude and how he treats people today. He's never changed since he's been at West Point.
He played Monopoly.
That's
Yes,
Donald
indeed.
Trump. That's Donald
He
Trump's
played
mother.
with his brother.
Yeah.
He played with Robert. But more than Monopoly, he played with building blocks.
You can hear
Always with building.
You can hear the German in her voice. You know Donald Trump is German. His father Fred was German. His grandfather came over here, I think, 19 or the late 1800s. Yeah, we came over here late 1800s.
But Donald Trump's childhood was much more complicated. Early on, a family crisis. His mother seriously ill.
When he was 2.5, my grandmother got very ill.
That's Mary Trump.
Donald, who was at a very, very critical point in his development as a child, was essentially abandoned by her. He may not entirely trust women.
That's maybe why he has this. Sorry about that. That may be why he has this attitude towards women. Because of him and his mother didn't have a relationship. Mary Trump, his niece, said that Donald Trump's mother basically abandoned him. That's what she just said.
My grandmother got very ill. Donald, who was at a very, very critical point in his development as a child, was essentially abandoned by her. He may not entirely trust women. He finds it difficult, if not impossible, to connect with them on any deep level, because I don't believe he ever was able to with her.
When you ask him about how she showed her love, he has nothing to say.
Donald
The
Trump.
complexity of that relationship, I think, plays out through all of his relationships with women throughout his life. With one wife after another, there is an inability to reach any recognizable level of intimacy.
Yeah, when Donald Trump threw with you, he threw
Young
with you.
Donald had his own crisis, finding his place in a family dominated by his father, Fred, a stern and demanding real estate developer.
I strongly suspect that he had a relationship with his father that accounts for a lot of what
Yeah, they
became.
say Trump's
And
father
his
was a
father
mean
was
old
a very
man.
brutal guy. He was a tough, hard driving
And
guy.
Donald Trump, and a lot of people don't know, Donald Trump's father was arrested, I think, in 1923 or 1929 at a KKK rally in New York. Yep. They wrote him a ticket. You know, when things are on the file, it never goes away. Yeah, Donald Trump's dad was arrested at a KKK rally in the early 20s or late 20s.
Who had
You can Google it.
very, very
Fred
little
Trump
emotional
arrested at KKK rally.
intelligence, to use today's terms.
And this is explaining who Donald Trump is and why he's like he is today.
Donald's father's overall message to his children was, and it was a very different message to the boys than to the girls. To the boys was compete, win, be a killer. Do what you have to win.
That's what Fred Trump taught. That's how Fred Trump taught Donald Trump. Do what you have to do to win. And right to today, Donald Trump, even if he loses, he say he won. He never loses. He never loses. Even when he loses, he never loses.
Inside the family, a harsh game of apprentice. Who would take over Fred's empire? The first in line wasn't Donald. It was his older brother, Freddie.
My father was sensitive. He was kind and generous. He
That's
liked
very
hanging
true.
out with his friends who adored him. And maybe worst of all, although it's hard to say, he had interests outside of the family business. My grandfather understood none of that.
Their father said Freddie wasn't a killer.
What?
He wanted to fly airplanes for a living. Donald thought that was crazy.
They could not understand why Fred did not go into the family business and be a builder like their father was. But Fred wanted to be a pilot, and Donald looked at that and said, well, that's sort of like being a bus driver. Why would you want to
Just
be
like
a
you
pilot?
called losers and
Donald
suckers.
watched
Why would
as
you want to
Freddie
do
was
that?
cast out.
My dad couldn't do anything right, and my grandfather made his life miserable. He was frustrated, and he began to realize that it wasn't going anywhere.
His life ended early in alcoholism and poor health.
That's the one Donald Trump talks about,
Through the
dying of
years,
alcoholism.
Donald would take a much different path.
He wanted to avoid my father's fate of, abuse and humiliation at the hands of his father. He took that lesson to heart.
He was determined to live up to his father's ideal, be a killer.
Send him to West Point. They send Donald Trump to West Point.
But he was also tempestuous, impulsive. And at 13, his father sent him to military school.
At West Point.
He must have said, this kid's gonna grow up in a tough world. Really tough world. If I want him to succeed, he's gonna have to be tough.
He talks about it as almost this rite of passage.
Yep.
He said to me that when he arrived at the military academy, for the first time in his life, someone slapped him in the face when he got out of line.
It would be a 5-year lesson in how to be a bully.
Donald Trump yelled at his classmates, he pushed them around, he even used a broomstick as a weapon against classmates who didn't listen to him.
That is violent. You see the violent nature of this man? Even when he was 12 years old or 17 years old in military school, he had this violent nature about it. He would, his classmate just said he would abuse other classmates when he went to military school. He was a bully back then, even at 12. Donald Trump was bullying people with mop sticks and everything if you didn't do what he said at 12 years old.
He talks about it as almost this rite of passage. He said to me that when he arrived at the military academy, for the first time in his life, someone slapped him in the face when he got out of line.
See, he went to military school, and then he said for the first time in his life, Donald Trump was slapped in the face by a military officer, and that's the first time somebody ever whooped his ass for anything.
It would be a 5-year lesson in how to be a bully.
Donald Trump yelled at his classmates, he pushed them around, he even used a broomstick as a weapon against classmates who didn't listen to him when he told them what to do.
What?
All of us, we're part of this culture of you beat on kids when they didn't do the right thing.
You got hit, you may have gotten slammed against the wall, you were put you got put artificially into fights.
He became a leader of the cadets. He became one of the student leaders who had a number of kids under him.
Donald Trump was a leader at West Point. He was a leader of his cadets. So he already got used to being in power over people, because he just said he bullied his classmates
in the
Hit him with
dormitories,
mopsticks
and
stuff.
he ruled the dormitory life with an iron fist.
You heard that? He ruled the dormitory life with an iron fist, like he's the president. He was beating kids up if they didn't do what he said. Donald Trump was like
All
that
of
when he
us,
was 12.
We're part of this culture of you beat on kids when they didn't do the right thing.
You got hit, you may have gotten slammed against the wall, you were put you got put artificially into fights.
He became a leader of the cadets. He became one of the student leaders who had a number of kids under him in the dormitories, and he ruled the dormitory life with an iron fist.
Inside that brutal world, Donald had found his place.
His mother told me that he was never homesick. He loved it. He loved all that
He
stuff.
loved that power.
Because it was also really competitive. Other kids didn't really like him all that much. He wasn't that popular because he was so competitive. He was always looking for the edge. But it was an environment that he thrived in.
With his father and mother by his side, Donald graduated. He'd become a killer. Learned the power of bullying to get ahead.
Learned the power of bullying to get ahead at 12 years old when he sent him to West Point. And guys, check this out. Did you know, actually, when people say Donald Trump, he know what he's doing because of The Apprentice. The Apprentice made Donald Trump. Donald Trump was never a great businessman. Yeah, he had property, but if you bankrupt, how many casinos did he bankrupt? He had 7 bankruptcies, but I think it was like 2 or 3 of them was casinos. How in the hell do you bankrupt a casino? A casino is a legal way to just fucking, excuse my language, print money. So if you're that great of a businessman, how did you bankrupt 2 or 3 casinos and you had 7 bankruptcies in your life? You're not that good. They had Trump steaks, Trump vodka, Trump the board game, all of that shit. Trump University. He got sued for all that. He had to pay millions of dollars because he con people out of their money. Now this is this is the guy who was on The Apprentice. The guy who worked on The Apprentice for Donald Trump says he does wear diapers. And he occasionally poops himself. On the show, he says this, and you know how I know it's got to be true? Because this video been out for months, and I know Donald Trump had to see it. He sued everybody else. He's never sued this guy. He's never sued this guy. So it's got to be true. There's got to be some truth to it because Trump ain't came after him for saying what he said. Sorry about that. Let me get this. Sorry about that. Let me turn this down. Shit. Yeah, let me turn it down. What the hell going on with it? What happened to that? Let me get back real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. I had some technical difficulties. Sorry about that. I don't know why my phone keeps going up. But it's been doing that all day. Wait a minute. I know damn yeah, that's I don't understand how it just It jumped out of my history. Sorry about that. I don't know why my phone is doing that. Yeah, it jumped. It was just in my history, and it just disappeared. Here we go. Here we go.
Continent from all the speed.
And
all the Adderall.
and the dude accused Donald Trump of doing speed, Adderall, and everything else. He was the producer on these offenses. So what he's saying, Donald Trump has not sued this guy for defamation or anything. He's not sued him. Oh man, what the hell going on? Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off. That's my brother. Sorry about that, guys. Here you go.
Diapers is not a joke. It depends. Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. All that stuff has a laxative, and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show. And
what? This dude is the producer, and like I said, listen. Everybody know Donald Trump just sued who did he sue? Fox and Rupert Murdoch today. He just sued Fox and Rupert Murdoch today for defamation over a letter. Over a letter. Yep. Donald Trump just sued Fox News and Rupert Murdoch today. Sorry about that. Over a letter that Fox News put out that said Donald Trump wrote a letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. And it had some kind of like drawing of a woman with like the squiggly, like he signed his signature, but that's where the pubic hair area was. Donald Trump said he told Fox News not to put that story out. They did, so he sued them. Donald Trump sued CBS for, he said, altering the Kamala Harris interview. He sues everybody for everything, but he didn't sue the producer of Celebrity Apprentice for saying that he did drugs and he poops himself. He didn't sue this guy. This guy worked with Donald Trump on The Apprentice. And this is what he said. This is what he's saying. He worked with Donald Trump on The Apprentice. He said Donald Trump he poops himself, did all kind of drugs and everything else. Donald Trump hasn't sued this guy. He sues everybody else, like I said. He hasn't sued this guy.
Diapers is not a joke. It depends. Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. All that stuff has a laxative, and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, and that was Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down.
They would have to change Donald Trump like he's a... Why do you think they have these little memes with Donald Trump with the diaper on? Because in Celebrity Apprentice, he actually used to shit himself. And the guy explains why. Because he's been on that show and was the producer of that show for so many years. He's seen Donald Trump do drugs. Donald Trump hasn't sued this guy yet for defamation.
Diapers is not a joke. It depends. Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades, all that stuff has a laxative and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, and that was
What?
Keith Schiller's job.
You had to change Donald Trump because he's shitting on himself on Celebrity Apprentice when they're filming? You said because of all the drugs that he did? Like I said, Donald Trump will sue your ass to death for saying one wrong thing about him. You haven't sued that guy. Because that guy got tapes of you even saying N-word on The Apprentice.
Diapers is not a joke.
Yeah.
It depends.
This guy-
Diaper Don is
Donald Trump is
trending,
a
but it's
racist.
based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. All that stuff has a laxative and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, and that was
What?
Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes. It's not a joke. It's happened several times, and you've seen it happen while he's in office. You've seen he was in the Oval Office with Erdogan, and you could clearly hear him sort of evacuating himself. He did it in front of Senator Feinstein.
Yeah, I remember
Dianne
that. I remember
Feinstein
that.
at a press
I
conference.
remember when he
So
shit in front
he
of
does it, and he
Feinstein.
almost sits there like and unaware of it, And one time I saw Ivanka have to go kind of whisper in his ear, and then Keith came and took him off stage. He'll also do it in a rage, and this is where it gets really drug related. He'll start to freak out. One time there was the word arbitrage on a cue card, and he started screaming that the script department was setting him up. You're setting me up, and he just freaked out, and then very loudly evacuated his bowels, and you could smell it, and the guy who was holding the boom mic, was tearing up. So that's where the nickname, the SHIT show came from. That was the crew nickname for Celebrity Apprentice. So when you hear Diaper Don, it's not a joke. He tries to hide it. I'll give you one more fact. If you look up the video of him when he was doing the WWF thing, he tackles a guy on the ground outside of the ring, and you can clearly see the outline of the Depends in his pants. And that was back in the early 90s. So he's lost control of his bowels. He's lost control of his brain. That's who he is, Diaper Don.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Back on.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have to watch too. This is crazy. Yep. Yep. This is crazy. That dude is it's been crazy. And you say you don't draw, and we definitely know you do. We definitely know you draw. Okay. This man is sick.
Sometimes being a giver will open you up to new talents. Each year, I donate an autographed doodle to the Doodle for Hunger auction at the Tavern on the Green. It's not the way I talk. Also, draw pictures of women, he said. It's not.
Yeah, he got caught up in a lot today.
Maybe another wonderful
He got caught up in a big lie today, guys.
Well, to anybody, but certainly, and I don't have any friends that are notorious pedophiles like Donald Trump has. This smacks of guilt, does it not? In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump declined writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. So I don't draw, he says. He didn't just tell them that. He took to Truth Social and said the same thing in this post at 9:57 p.m. Eastern Time last night. The Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter, supposedly.
Yeah, so he's saying he don't draw, and you got drawings that you drew inside of Trump Tower.
Maybe another wonderful.
That you drew inside of Trump Tower. You got drawings that you drew inside of Trump Tower.
Secret. To anybody, but certainly, and I don't have any friends that are notorious pedophiles like Donald Trump has. This smacks of guilt, does it not? In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump declined writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit.
Listen, I've never been to Trump Tower, but I've seen pictures inside of Trump Tower, and there's definitely something that you drew inside of Trump Tower. You draw all the time. You always got that damn Sharpie with you. But you said you don't draw. But we clearly know you do. All you have to do is step on any one of your properties. We'll see one of your drawings.
If it published an article, I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. So I don't draw, he says.
Did you? Hey, chat. Listen to what he said. He said, "I'm gonna sue the Wall Street Journal like I sue everyone else." Just remember that, because we're gonna go to a video.
I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. So I don't draw, he says. He didn't just tell them that. He took to Truth Social and said the same thing in this post at 9:57 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, he said he don't draw, but you got plenty of your drawings inside of Trump Tower, which is it's easy to catch him in a lie. He just lies so much, it's just part of his nature. But remember, listen, like I said, Chad, just remember, stay in here with me, because after this video, I'm going to show you how he lies.
Don't draw pictures of women, he said.
Let me see if I got to go back a little bit. I'm trying to get it where it's exactly right. Just hold off for a minute for me. He said he said he sues everybody. He said he sues everybody. Just remember that. Here we go.
He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else.
Okay, Donald Trump sent out a post this morning saying he's going to sue the Wall Street Journal like he sues everyone else. Remember that.
He said. So I don't draw, he says.
But we know he does. I'm going to show you how perverted this guy is. I'm going to show you how perverted the president is.
Who you are. Because up to this point, they've ignored all of the red flags, all of the glaring sirens blaring into the evening of your.
Here we go. Donald Trump really wants to mess with his daughter.
How many times?
Donald Trump really wants to mess with his own daughter. His actions and what he said and how he talks about it to other men proves that he's a pervert.
How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to fuck his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yeah, he does. He lusts after Ivanka. He really does.
Just how disgusting
he's
he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what you are.
Yet far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka.
Did you hear what he said about his own daughter? He's talking to Howard Stern about how voluptuous
Ivanka. And I'm being crass because
how voluptuous Ivanka is. What kind of father holds a conversation with another guy about the way his daughter is built? Which is weird as hell.
How many times? How many times have we heard Donald Trump talk about wanting to fuck his daughter Ivanka? And I'm being crass because it's crass. When Donald Trump says, oh, perhaps I'd be dating her if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, he doesn't mean dating. We know what he means by that. We're all adults. We can speak like adults. He means having sex with. He doesn't mean going out to the soda fountain and having a banana split. He doesn't mean an ice cream date. We know what he means when he says it. Here is a compilation from CNN a few years ago about just how disgusting he has been about his own daughter, whom he lusts over.
Yet at times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
That's nasty. That is nasty.
So weird. Stop. You know what you are.
Yet far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
In May, Ivanka described herself as a feminist while defending her father on CBS after a scathing New York Times article about his alleged negative treatment of women.
Is there unending commentary on the female form? No. I've known my father obviously my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
No, you don't.
The lovely Ivanka Trump.
Still, even Ivanka seemed confused when talk show host Wendy Williams asked about things the two have in common.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate.
What is he talking about? This guy done lost his mind, man. He done lost his mind. He really lost his mind. I mean, he's out there. He's out there.
To expect folks to
Predator generators give you the power to do.
We gotta get this commercial out of here.
Now making headlines. Trump talking about how he had free reign at his beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Today, a former Miss Arizona who calls herself a conservative